From an undisclosed locations for reasons of security and insecurity, we present to you MnRTV Live Show. And tonight we're going to have a special guest, Doc Marquis, tonight on our show. And he's going to be talking about global depression and Illuminati destruction. And that will be at 8 o'clock, at 8:15 p.m. tonight. That's going to be a great show to have. We're going to have the return of Doc Marquis. He's been on our show a couple of years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago, and it's great to be having him back at 8:15. But without further ado, the one and the only, from Montreal, the madman himself, the coffee man, Mario. How's been your week?
Rob, the week was great. I can't complain. At least we're moving. What's the use of complaining? Okay? If we complain, nobody listens. Right? That's the problem in today's world. Complaining, we don't get nothing done. That's why if you want something done, you got to do it yourself, right?
Yeah. I kind of agree to it because, you know, we complain and nothing happens.
So that's it. I guess we're going to start the show. There's nothing else for me. You know, I mean, people don't want to look at me and you all day, you and I all day. They want to hear what we got to say and hear from us saying it, right? So now
Right
this is Mario. I'm going to be switching on over to the other side to show you what you want to know because that's way more important. But I will appear later on. And Doc Marquis is going to come on, like Robert said, in what?
45 minutes or so. 40 minutes to take. Yeah. So
stick around, people, and enjoy us while we show what you want to know. What the media doesn't want you to see.
And this show, yes, and this show has been brought to you by the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force. All right, so you ready?
All right, so now we're going to start with our beautiful blog, right? And here she is.
The beautiful blog, yes.
The usual. You know, for the new people out there, this is how you contact us and you come on Chatango and, you know, take part in whatever you know, feel free to say what you want to say. But now we're going to get to the pictures of the week, right, Rob?
Yeah.
Because what would this show be without the pictures of the week?
Ever get lonely? Remember, the NSA is right there with you. Yeah, I'm sure they are. They're trying to close up the show right here, right now. That's for sure.
All the time they want to stop us from doing the show. But it's okay.
Yeah, messing up the computers and everything.
But it's okay, Rob, because they're enjoying the show too. They want to know what we know, and they're like, how come these people know? That's what I like about this picture, because this is the picture of the week, and it's found on both Conspiracy Talk on Google Plus and on Facebook. Okay, this one, people like it. People went crazy over this.
It's coming. Eventually, the American people will stand up.
Well, we have.
Prepare for war. Live free or die. That's the revolution that they want to impose.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Now this one, pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceutical companies don't create cures. They create customers. That's true.
Yeah, that's why we're always sick, and there's always a problem with us.
There's all kinds of problems all the time.
And they're selling this millions of dollar industry, billions, you know, instead of giving it to real stuff. But anyhow, that's a whole show on its own.
Yeah,
about this one.
Does slowly kill all humans starter pack.
There we got McDonald's, the vaccinations, chemtrails, and of course the brain waves that are let go by our cell phones, always constantly on the ears.
It is, eh?
Yeah, look at that. It says ATN tumors. That's too much. And this one people liked.
Government logic. Invade foreign country. Call local extremists when they defend themselves. Exactly. Well, is this extremist or is that ISIS? That's the problem.
Well, there's a fine line to read in between this picture, as you can see.
The only people who are mad at you for speaking the truth are those people living a lie.
So that means the people watching this show are angry at us, and they're those people living a lie. They like to live a lie. But us, we're not like that.
No, we're not. And they're the ones.
We live in public. Privacy is dead. That's true.
Privacy is dead, yeah, exactly. And it is dead, more or less. Anything you do, say can be watched and monitored, and it's not something very good at all.
All thanks to Facebook, because people put all what they do on Facebook, so your privacy is dead. That's what it comes to.
Thank you, Facebook. Thank you for doing that.
Shame on them. People like this one too.
The job of the unconscious is to make the unconscious conscious. That's true.
I like that. I really enjoy that. That's very true. I mean, I can't comment to truth like that. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Here.
I provided the funding to create Al Qaeda. My disaster is Iraq. Iraq led to the creation of ISIS. Don't tell me he created ISIS, Bush. Probably. I thought it was Obama who was one of the major ones creating.
Yeah, but where it stems from, Rob, you know?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It stems from these guys. Well, Reagan, according to this picture. The next one.
If money is just a necessary tool for society, does that also mean this is necessary? Money or equality?
I mean, this picture is worth 1,000,000 words. That's why I posted it here. And of course, last but not least,
nothing says false flag propaganda like 8-foot-tall boogeyman terrorists formerly walking hostages in perfect clean orange jumpsuits down in a dramatic beach to professional cinematography in the middle of the desert.
But wait.
They're 7 feet tall, 8 foot.
But that's near the ocean.
Yeah.
And 8 feet tall boogie, the 8 feet, what are these? Guys that didn't make the NBA? They took them.
Or could they in fact be giants?
It could be.
It makes you wonder, eh? What they could be.
One could never know. One will never know. So that's what happens on you know, Google. I mean, on Google Plus Conspiracy Talk and Facebook's Conspiracy Talk, which is right here.
And it's the fastest growing website, web group on Facebook right now. The Conspiracy Talk.
And here's our show, and it's posted here all the time. You know, I mean, if people want to come in and say, let's see, how do we get on the show? Well, it's right here. Normally, it's every Wednesday. When we can do the show, we will do the show, and it's right there. You just have to click on here, and it brings you to the blog, and you can take part in all what you want. Be nice on the group, right? Be civilized. Don't be uncivilized. Don't be mean to other people, you know?
Exactly. No, I don't think people could be mean.
So feel free to join it, but don't spam or don't troll. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to get to the news.
Record cold and snow destroy global warming claims. Yet another bitterly cold, snowy winter is destroying alarmist global warming claims, proving once again that over-the-top warming predictions are proving no more scientifically credible than snake oil. This morning's stunning photos show New England lobster boats frozen in, I can't see the rest, in port, looking like they are stranded deep in the Arctic Circle. The boats have been frozen in places for weeks, which would be remarkable enough if they were not in the middle of January. However, the calendar is about to turn to March. Connecticut is experiencing its coldest February in recording history. So is Michigan. So is Toronto, Cleveland, and Chicago experiencing the coldest February in recorded history. Well, that's happening here too.
Yeah, so much to global warming. Yeah, I think that that's
Global
all.
cooling, it's just propaganda. I'm telling you, there is no such thing.
No, I know. I mean, after what happened this winter, it's like so long. This month of February feels like it's the whole winter in 28 days.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's so damn cold that we can't see we can't even think. We can't even go out without freezing. It's like minus 34, 35. Not today though, but the whole week it's been like that for the whole month.
I
No.
know, Rob.
Oh, do I have to see this guy? Do I have to see him? I do not like him.
I know, Rob. I know you
And I'm
don't.
not talking about the Prime Minister Stephen Harper. I'm talking about that eugenics, that Bill Gates, who's causing me problems left and right, left and center every day. It's been 2 weeks, Mr. Gates. Why don't you come on the MnRTV Live Show next week? I'm calling you out. I want you to come on the show and tell me what the hell's the matter with you and your freaking computers. Because your computers suck. They suck, and it's unreal. Anyhow,
But you know where he is this past. You can go and see him. Never mind that. You can go and see him. He's in Ottawa. Look at
he's in
that.
Ottawa. Oh my God.
Yeah,
New
look.
UN goals for maternal, newborn, and child health to be set in the fall.
There we go. Look at him. Look at him.
Look
He's
at
all.
it, causing me all kinds of problems left and right. The next step is improving the health of women and children around the world would involve improving data collection, vital statistics, Prime Minister Stephen Harper said Wednesday. Harper spent part of his day discussing the issue with American billionaire Bill Gates, whose foundation works to improve health and eliminate poverty in developing world. Gates also met with NDP leader Tom Moncler and Liberal leader Justin Trudeau at separate events today in Ottawa. Gates and Harper participated in a roundtable with international aid organizations where they discussed the next steps for improving maternal, newborn, and child health. This guy wants to depopulate us, and he wants to talk about health and saving kids.
But Rob, we're forgetting one thing. This
What?
is media. All lies, man. This is your local mainstream media. It's only lies. They're not going to tell you the truth here. You know? I mean, look at this. This is all gibberish. He's not here. Is he really here for this? Or he's probably talking about how do we kill some human beings out there. That's what I'm asking myself. That's why he's here. He's not here for any good. The media is paid by the government, and the government saying, hey, I just put this, and they put this, and they fool people. But you know what? They can't fool us here, the MnRTV Live Show, and the audience watching and enjoying this. Don't be fooled. He's not here on good stuff here.
Well,
It's
it's not for something good. If it's something bad.
It's always for something bad. You know, I mean, don't trust the government. That's basically. Oh, by the way, all the links, all what I'm posting here will appear in the description underneath the video, so you can see it for yourself and examine it. Speaking of which, still Bill Gates, and this one is with Monsanto.
U.S. government, Monsanto Gates Foundation push GMOs on unwilling Africa. U.S. agencies, funders such as the Gates Foundation and agribusinesses giant Monsanto are trying to force unwilling African nations to accept expensive and insufficient tested genetically modified foods and crops, according to a news report released today. Yes, he's trying to force this poison to us. The U.S., the world's top producer of GM crops, is seeking new markets for American GM crops in Africa. The U.S. administration's strategy consists of assisting African nations to produce biosafety laws that promote agribusiness interests instead of protecting Africans from the potential threats of GM crops, said Haiti Swanby from the African Center of Biosafety, which authored the reports commissioned by Friends of the Earth International. The news report also exposes how agribusiness giant Monsanto influences biosafety legislation in African countries, gains regulatory approval for its products, and clearly the paths for products as the GM maize, corn. So this guy's really trying to poison us. He's very influential in what he's doing.
He's not your friend. He's not what we think he is. He's a billionaire. Is he a billionaire?
Well, a multi-billionaire, my friend.
Whatever. Maybe more, maybe less. Just a piece of paper. And that's what he has. And that's what makes him so powerful. And that's why he thinks he can control us. Yeah, good luck. Right? Like they could really
Exactly.
stop us.
What his nonsense that he puts all the time.
This wind scrap. Right?
I call it wind blows because it's always blowing.
And we're paying millions. Well, not millions, but you know, it feels like we're paying millions.
At
It's
least
not
it
putting
works.
people. Okay, the next piece of news.
The next piece of news: devastating impacts of secretly negotiated TTIP trade deal between EU and US. Obama blocks making its terms public. TTIP is a secret negotiated trade between the US and the EU, and all its indications that it will replace each nation's drug safety, product safety, food safety, environmental and worker protection regulations and laws, placing them into the hands of panels composed of appointees of large international corporations, no longer in the hands of publicly elected officials, no longer in the hands of elected politicians who need to face voters periodically in order to stay in power. Basically, US President Barack Obama is demanding that European nations weaken the regulations, but has been encountering stiff resistance from some, which has dragged out the negotiations. I don't know what to make of this. You?
No, Rob, I mean, it's pretty depressing. The only positive thing here is that we're aware of what he's doing, what's going on here. But the question is people out there don't care. I mean, we're just talking to people that do care. That's a positive part. But, you know,
Well, yeah, I agree with you.
it's sick. It's sick that they're taking us as idiots and they want to dumb us down. That's the thing that freaks me out, you know? Give them
I know exactly what
fluoride.
you mean.
Give them fluoride. Continue spraying them with chemtrails and make them go to these fast food restaurants that's serving us rat poison, right?
Rat poison, who knows? It's not even real meat. It's God knows what it is. And don't forget all the fluoride and the water and the chemicals. And who knows what's in the food.
I know. Okay, the next one, Rob, the next one.
The
Okay.
Order of the Illuminati, its origins, its methods, and its influence on the world events.
I hate when the site does that. What happened here?
I don't know. Right there. Yeah, it's right there. Are you able to go down?
Yeah.
The Order of the Illuminati is often at the center of debates and the impact of secret societies on human history. Is the Illuminati a myth, or does it truly rule the world? As the number of people asking the question has grown, facts about the order have been diluted with misconceptions and disinfo, making objective research on the subject difficult. This article attempts to shed some factual light on the Order of the Illuminati by reviewing some of the most important documents on the subject. The word Illuminati. It's to say the word, not the world. I think it's a
Yeah.
typo. The word Illuminati is thrown around rather freely to describe the elite group that is secretly running the world. Most have a general idea of the meaning of the term, but are confused about the concepts and the ideas of the meaning of the term, but are related to it. Is the Illuminati the same thing as Freemasonry? What are their goals? What are their beliefs? Why do they act in secret? Do they practice occultism? Of course they do. But that's why tonight we're going to be having a former Illuminati insider, Doc Marquis, coming on our show tonight, who's going to be explaining all of this. Probably better than this article.
Yeah, so anyways, I just found it. It was up and it was recent. So I said to myself, you know, just in the alley, you know, it's in the alley right there. So I said, let me just pull it up, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, we don't have much time to get into that. So I'll go on to the next bit because people out there, you know, People out there want to know. People out there.
Well, of course,
There
yeah,
are
they want
many.
to know everything that's going on. Well, our viewers do, that's for sure.
Okay, hold on, hold on. I don't know if you're able to see it well, Rob.
No,
Now?
yeah.
Okay, so let me go to show our audience.
Mystery drone spotted flying over Paris nuke plant's presidential palace. Country. What country has been? Which country? Country has been hit by a series of mysterious overflights and nuclear
France.
power. Eh?
It's France.
France, but it doesn't say. It just says country.
Yeah, I know, but they're talking about France because it happened
That's
in
what I
Paris.
thought. At least, yeah, with the Eiffel Tower. At least 5 drones were spotted flying over central Paris landmarks during the night, and police were unable to catch the operators, sources close to the probe says on Tuesday. The country has been hit by a series of mysterious drones, overflights at nuclear plants, and more recently over the presidential palace, and the fresh sightings come at a time of heightened security following last month's jihadist attacks that left 17 people dead. The first drone sighting was near the U.S. Embassy in the French capital just after midnight, prompting police to follow the unmanned aircraft, which continue on towards the Invalids Military Museum. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's stuff we don't know. Geez, we don't hear about this in the local mainstream media. I never heard this. We have to go deep in the web to get this.
Yeah, we do.
You know? I said to myself, this is good. This is going to give the viewers something to chew on, right?
Yeah, that's for sure, because there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of information we do that our viewers love.
Okay, now the next one we're going to be getting is into Tech Talk.
The curious comeback of flip phones in Japan. So they're coming up with that now, aren't they?
Yeah. This is Friday, February 20th, not too long ago.
And it's right here. Who said flip phones were so 2000? The humble clamshells handset is making a curious comeback in Japan, a country known for its cutting-edge technology. Japan's shipments of flip phones rose for the first time in 7 years. In 2014, up 5.7%, up a year at 10.58 million, while smartphone shipments fell 5.3 to 27.70 million, according to data from market research from Research Institute, MnRTV. The flip phone fill-up has caught the attention of industry analysts who pin it on short replacement cycles for the phone and a rise in contract renewals. This is unusual and interesting. My gut feeling is that it's a function of replacement rates. The replacement cycle for flip phones has been getting shorter, around 12 to 18 months, compared with 2 or 3 years for an iPhone or Samsung Galaxy phone, says Mark Einstein, industry principal for the information and communications technology practice at Frost and Sullivan. Wow, imagine that.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. I guess people are fed up with always being connected to Facebook wherever they go.
I'm fed up of being connected, period, and nothing works. It's supposed to make your life easier, but it doesn't.
I mean, I find this phone so expensive, and it's not the basic. Give me the basic phone call, text every once in a while, and that's it. You know? Meanwhile, here we're stuck having to show the world and everybody else and the big brother just exactly what we're up to and where we are, and you know, we can't live like this, can we?
No, we'll take an example. How much problems I had today again with the other computer. Unreal.
It never ends. It never ends. Okay.
I'm about to take this other computer. Now I'm doing this from my Chromebook. I'm about to take this other Windows computer right here, which I usually do my show on, and throw it out the window.
Put it in space.
I'm going to put it that way with that eugenics Bill Gates and his wind blows, because Windows freaking sucks. Space diplomacy. Russia's commits to the International Space Station through 2024.
So Russia is still out there.
Yeah, and there's a guy with the United States. The Russian Space Agency has announced that it will extend its commitment to the International Space Station through 2024 before creating its own space stations from the sections of the orbital laboratory it operates. The decision came less than a year after Russian officials said they would not extend funding and other support for the station past the project's expected end in 2020. At the time, the U.S. announced its plans to continue funding ISS through 2024, but tensions over Russia's annexations of Crimea and support for rebels in eastern Ukraine led to symbolic demonstrations of unhappiness via both countries' space programs, which is an area of significant collaboration. Why is it always ISS, ISIS, ISIS?
I don't know. Is it a code that we don't know about?
I don't know.
That's what I have a strong feeling. It's a code that they don't want us to know. It's a code that only they know. You know? There's always a reason for everything out there, you know?
Yeah.
Always, always, always. Hold on, now I'm waiting for...
Now, I'm getting an update.
Where on your...
Windows update, yeah. Luckily, I'm not using it. It says to restart my computer.
Okay. Soon, Rob, robots. Back to them.
Yeah. 5 jobs that robots already have taken. Artificial intelligence, robotics, and new disruptive technology are challenging white-collar professions that previously seemed invulnerable. For years now, some researchers have been anticipating that robots will take jobs from humans. It has for years and years. It's not just now, folks. In the UK, Deloitte and the University of Oxford predicted that 10 million unskilled jobs could be overtaken by robots. University of Oxford researchers Carl Bennick, Dick Frey, and Michael Osborne estimate in 2013 that 47% of total US jobs could be automated, taken over by computers by 2033. But what's supposed to happen to people?
It will become obsolete. That's what they want.
Yeah, but how are people going to work and survive? It's bad as I find it's bad as it is now. Don't you find it bad?
Yeah. It's like stores are closing, everything's closing, you know. It's like, what about us? You know? What about us? That's the question. The most important beings here on Earth. What about us?
What will they do to us?
I wish I knew.
Like if we can't work, I think that's when they're going to want to depopulate all of us.
Definitely. But we got to stop this from happening. That's the thing. It is very, very important that we stop this from happening. And we can stop it, really. And people are going to say, but what are you going to do about it? Well, we got to talk about it. Number one, get informed. Inform others.
Spread it, share it.
Rob, I don't know if you're able to see the next one. Could you see it?
Very barely, scarcely. I just see the time a UFO invaded LA in 1942. Today marks the 73rd anniversary of the Battle of Los Angeles, also known as the Great LA Air Raid, one of the most mysterious incidents of World War II, and one of the most colorful tales in all of UFO lore. It is also a tale we couldn't resist turning into a movie. Between the late evening of February 24th, are you able to make it bigger?
Yeah, because I was trying to get the title.
Okay.
There.
Between the late evening of February 24th, 1942 and the early morning hours of February 25th, the City of Angels flew into a panic as what was initially believed to be Japanese enemy aircraft were spotted over the city. This suspected Japanese raid coming soon after the Pearl Harbor bombing and just one day after confirmed Japanese submarine attack bombing and just one day touched off a massive barrage of anti-aircraft fire with some 1,400 shells shot into the skies over LA during the frantic evening. Strangely, however, the anti-aircraft shell hit nothing. Despite the intense barrage, no aircraft wreckage was ever recovered. Now, isn't that strange?
A lot of things are strange. You know, when it comes to UFOs, yeah, a lot of things are strange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just love this. I mean, what would this show be without UFO talk, right? And alien talk,
I
and of
know.
course Illuminati stuff. You know, I mean, it wouldn't be great, would it be?
No, it
Something
wouldn't. Not at all.
something would be very hostile. You know,
I
so
agree.
you're pissed off at Bill Gates, right?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I still can't see what's going on with this computer that I'm trying to use now. I have to use this small computer right here.
Thank God for that, eh?
Yeah. Now what do
Very.
we have next? Have next?
But anyhow, what counts is we're still able to
And here we go.
do the
Look.
show.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah. I'm still kind of pissed off because of that. You know.
I know, but Trish is also pissed off because she's dying to come on and to she's dying to
Coming
come
on.
on
She's
and
going to come on right now, eh? Yes,
pardon?
folks. In approximately 10 minutes, we're gonna have Doc Joseph Marquis, one of the Illuminati members, ex-Illuminati members, who was also a witch, and he was deep into the occult and the Illuminati. Will be coming on our show at 8:15 tonight. You don't want to miss that. Are you excited to have him on our show?
Definitely, Robert, and so is Trish, who's ready to just tell us about Doc
Oh,
Marquis.
great.
So here she is.
Okay. Have her
Here's
on now.
Marquis, born 1956, is a Christian writer who claims to be an ex-member of the Illuminati, according to his version of events. He was initiated into the group at the age of 4 by his foster aunt, became a high priest at 13 and a master witch at 17 before eventually leaving. In 1979, he claims that, since then, the Illuminati has tried to kill him when he says that other people involved with the Illuminati include Charles Manson, Sharon Tate, whom Manson was sent to assassinate as she wanted to leave, and alleged alien abductee Whitney Strieber, the biggest, the most obnoxious individual I've ever met, says Doc, when he claims that the protocols of the Elders of Zion is genuine evidence of a conspiracy, but one organized by the Illuminati rather than Jews. 2 Marquis says that Satan has assigned 7 demons with controlling hell and interfering with human affairs. Reed deals with such drugs as marijuana, hashish, cocaine, speed, LSD, peyote and mescaline, and is also responsible for seeing that music is hexed. Lars, demon of sexual lust, homosexuality, bisexuality, adultery, and other such sexual pleasure. Bacchus, demon of addictions, such as to drugs, smoking, and alcohol. Pan causes mental illnesses, depression, suicide, nerves, and rejection. Merit, demon of hate, murder, killing, war, jealousy, envy, and gossip. Set, demon of death, and a 7th, a main demon so powerful that most witches won't even bother him, whose job is getting Christians to talk about each other through gossiping and causing strife within the church.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Trish. I mean, what could we do without you?
I
mean,
know,
this.
for sure.
Yeah, I have to admit, very, very interesting. You know, his story is very interesting. I'm glad we have him on, and we'll be getting him on, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll be getting him on in about 8 minutes. Yes, I'm telling you, what a day.
well, it's always what a day when we're using these computers. It's what a life. That's what I say.
I'm fed up, eh? It's unreal. It's just unreal, like all the problems that these things can give us on show night, you know?
Do you think cavemen and cave women had these problems way back then?
No, not at all. In fact, 20 years ago, we didn't have problems like this.
No, we didn't. I mean, life was so beautiful 20, 20 so odd years ago. I mean, we were free, we were able to do what we wanted. No, we can't do anything now. No?
That's right.
I mean, we're lucky we're able to do this show, that nobody stops us, you know?
I know, I agree with you.
But there's always distractions.
But distractions all the time, like every 2 minutes, there's always something going on. Don't
Never
you
a dull
agree?
moment.
Well, I could sure use a dull moment here and there. In fact, I could use many. Can you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you.
But
But
then it would be too boring, Robin. You know us humans.
I do
We
have
we
a
like
security.
new challenges.
That's what somebody says. I do have it, but it's just it's always it's like I have security, but the thing is, I took that in 2005, 4, and it's just lately all my computers been blowing up mysteriously, getting viruses on Facebook. There's a worm going on Facebook. I didn't get it, thank God, but there's that. There's also my laptop that's screwing up today. There's my desktop that blew up the other time, and now I'm on a Chromebook.
What would life be without a Chromebook?
I don't know. I love the Chromebook, that's for sure.
It's a great invention, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I agree. Do you agree with it though?
I agree, Rob. I told you a long time ago, if one of my PCs goes, I'm getting a Chromebook, whether anybody out there likes it or not. I'm getting one, and that's it.
I know. Now the computer's fixed.
But it's a
Now
little too,
it's fixed.
isn't it a little too late?
Well, yeah. Well, no, I want to be on the bigger on the bigger laptop, and I can't. I can't start switching now.
No, but it's working fine on the Chromebook.
It's just I find it a little small, but
Yeah, well, that's the disadvantage, the smaller screen, you know?
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I remember also the Atari 2600 and the cassette tapes that we listened to music. You still have the rabbit ear?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
still,
and Chromebooks are NSA tools. What isn't? Windows is.
everything
Apple,
is,
everything.
everything, if you're connected to the net, it's all connected to the NSA. Keep that in mind. They know what you're doing, they want to know what you're doing, and you're connected. Even with the smart televisions, don't go too far. I don't have them. I don't have it. I don't intend on getting it. But they still can see what you're doing. They're following you.
The what?
Voice
What do you say?
commands. Pardon?
The what?
They're controlling. They're seeing what you do. You're letting them in your house. You know?
Yeah.
And I have strong reason to believe even with telephones, they still can taper and see what you're doing. They tamper with the phones and they can hear what you're planning. I mean, how many times I'm talking on the phone and let's just say, even if I say the MnRTV Live Show, okay, right away I hear click click. Why? Because the NSA goes, oh, Mario and Robert are working on the next show. Let's see what they're about. And then they're like, okay, let's do something about it. You know, or let's continue. Like that, we keep them on record. And once we're on record, they know. They jabbed us. Like they have us in their corner. Right?
That's right. Exactly. You know? Even Linux is an NSA tool. They invented and use it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, at least with Linux, what we're using, it's not like wind blows that blows up every freaking 5 minutes all the time. There's always a freaking problem. I've never seen such computers, and they're supposed to make it from Windows XP to Vista to 7 to 8 and now 10. They all say it's gonna get better, but it's always the same. It's always the same damn crap all the time.
It is. It's not much better, you know. I mean, yeah, it's just faster. You don't need antiviruses.
Yeah, you do. For Windows.
Yeah, I'm talking about anything else.
Oh yeah, at least
Unix based. You know, Unix based PCs. You don't need antiviruses. You know?
Exactly. You know, we know it's screwed up my computer. It's antiviruses themselves, not the viruses. The viruses. The antivirus screwed up. The Norton screwed up my computer, and then I had this other one that just seems to be screwing up everything. It's just antiviruses that are screwing it up.
I'm telling you, Rob. Sometimes I feel like just.
I'm about to take all of this and scrap it all.
But then we don't do no show. Now that sucks.
We do nothing. We go live in the woods.
Yeah, living in the woods.
We go live in the woods and that's it. But
yeah, we'll eat worms all day long. That's what we'll do. We'll eat lots of chewy worms.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. I'm not making fun of anybody here, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
that,
I don't have Lenovo equipment. I have an Acer, but not Lenovo, so I don't know.
I used to have IBM, and you know, you have to buy their equipment only to install. Like inside the computer can't be like anything generic. It has to be IBM only. You know, or not just that, but even peripherals. Let's say if you, I don't know, what do you connect to your computer?
A mouse.
Will it have to be an IBM mouse?
No, that's ridiculous.
Avast is okay, but anyways, this is not a computer show, but Avast is okay, but it's not free. You have to pay for it, you know?
Yeah, alright. I think it's 8:15. I'm gonna have to try calling Doc Marquis.
Keep your fingers crossed, everybody.
That this works.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
I'm very proud to be doing this show, you know? People don't know that.
Alright, let's see if this works.
It should work. It should work. Let's stay positive here. We gotta be positive, you know? Very important.
Hello?
Hello, Doc Marquis.
Yes.
Yes, welcome to the MnRTV Live Show.
Oh, I'm getting terrible feedback.
You're what?
Yeah, there it is. That's better. I was getting a lot of echoing there.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, it's sketchy, but I can make out what you're saying.
Okay, maybe if I put on a headphone, maybe it'll be better.
I don't know if we will be able to hear. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Can you hear me? Okay, Mario, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear Doc. That's what I was afraid of.
Okay, let me take it out. Hold on. Okay. All right. So who can hear me now?
I
can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So, Doc Marquis, welcome to the MnRTV Live Show.
Thank you for having me, Robert. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, not bad myself. So tonight we're going to be talking about the economic depression that's supposed to be coming in a couple of, I don't know exactly. They've been saying it for how long, and I know that you've been in the Illuminati a long time ago. So would you care to tell our audience a bit about yourself?
Basically, in a nutshell, I was raised in an Illuminati family. At the time, I was a 7th generation witch. You see, my family goes back into the Illuminati back in 1789. And I was in for, more than a little bit, what was it, about 20 years, something like that. And it was on April 15th, 1979 that I became a born-again Christian. And I left the Order of the Illuminati, and what? It's been 36 years, something like that, that I've been fighting against the Illuminati, explaining their inner secrets, warning people about the coming New World Order, everything. And as a result, I even produced a 13-part DVD, Secrets of the Illuminati, in which we do delve into some of the greatest secrets of the Illuminati, and we've been, just exposing everything to the best as we can. And I'm even in the middle of starting another DVD series, and I'm going around the country, looking at different prophecy summits. Well, as a matter of fact, speaking of which, next week I'm going to be in Florida, in Orlando, at the Hyatt Regency. We're going to be speaking 3 times there, and there's a huge prophecy summit that's being put on by Prophecy in the News. We're going to have 26 major speakers there, all covering many of the topics I'll be covering also.
Wow, that's gonna be wonderful. So you've been pretty busy yourself.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be speaking for God TV also for a show that's headed by Paul McGuire. And as I said, I'm in the midst of getting a new TV series going even further into what's really going on in the occult world and how it's going to affect all of us according to the scriptures.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be amazing. I have a few questions. So, what can you tell us about the global depression that's supposed to be happening in the future?
Okay, say that one more time. There's a lot of reverberation. I didn't quite catch all of it.
Okay, what can you tell us about the global depression that's going to be happening?
Well, it's interesting that when we go to the actual plans of the Illuminati, they are going now. Let me think. I first saw this plan back in the early 70s. You see, the Illuminati have a number of timelines that this very day, at least to the best of my memory, I've never seen them go wrong. One particular timeline called for that somewhere between, I believe it was 2014 to 2018, we're going to cause a major economic disaster to some particular nation on the earth. Now that was 40-something years ago, so they didn't put in which nation at the time, so I can't tell you which nation it was, but they definitively put on that timeline that they would cause some sort of financial disaster to happen to a major nation, be such a horrific event that it would actually force, if not compel, other nations of this world to get together and finally sit down and discuss creating a one world currency, so such a thing could never happen to any of them like it did to that one nation. Now that would fit in absolutely perfectly, not only with just the plans of the Illuminati, but also with the end-time prophecies that we find in places such as, like the book of Daniel, the book of Revelation, parts of Ezekiel, Isaiah, book of Joel, so on and so forth. So these things that the Illuminati had planned ages ago, I have actually seen come to fruition in my Christian walk.
And how terrible is it going to be? And how long is there a time frame for this to happen? In a couple of months, years, days?
That I don't know. As I said, I only remember what was written on the timeline. But what does concern me is that when we look at what's going around the globe right now, it's not just one that this seems to be affecting. I mean, we can sit back and look at the economic disasters happening, like in Greece, Spain, Portugal. I mean, my goodness, let's look at our own country here, America.
Yes.
We are what? 18 trillion, not billion, $trillion in debt. Now, every single day, you and I are alive. The compound $18 billion, 18 trillion is $500 million. So think about that. Just on interest alone, we have to pay $500 million in America just on the interest of all the money we owe.
That is unbelievable.
Now, how long do people really think we can sustain such a debt? I mean, now I've sat down, I've run the figures. Once we get anywhere around $22 to $23 trillion, we will never, ever be able to pay off the national debt because our gross national product does not bring in enough capital at that point. In other words, we will stop making enough money to pay off things. And yet, you've got these people in Congress who's laughing, saying, no, these people don't know what they're talking about. America could really sustain somewhere between 27 to 30 trillion. No, that's a lie. And anyone who can do basic math, run the figures, and you'll find out it's somewhere around 23 trillion. I mean, I can't even wrap my mind around that big of a figure, but that's what it comes out to. And yet, and I'm not pointing fingers here, but yet, the Democrats want to keep spending money. Common sense tells us you cannot spend yourself out of a hole. And yet, this fits in perfectly well with the plans of the Illuminati. Many a time, they have brought other nations of the world to the brink of disaster just to, make more money. It's very interesting that what a lot of people don't realize is that as this ISIS thing is going on right now,
yes,
the Rothschild family, along with certain other people, are making a lot of money. You see, it was discovered quite a while ago. I can't remember which foundation it was that actually figured this out, but we find out that the easiest and the most efficient way to make money is through wars. Wars is the most profitable way of making money and making money quickly. And ever since the puppets, came into power, have you noticed? Virtually speaking, somewhere on the earth there is always a war going on.
Yes, I have.
Especially since, after World War I.
Yes, there's always a war. There's always a hot spot in the world every year.
Exactly. And someone is making money off of it. And I guarantee you, the people who are making the greatest profit off this is the Rothschild family, the head of the Order of the Illuminati. It was Maya Angelou Rothschild in 1838. She said, allow me to control the money of a nation, and allow me to control and issue the money of a nation. I cannot like boss. In other words, whoever controls the purse strings makes the rules. Right now, the Rothschild family, their total value, according to different auditors and such, now they've never been audited, by a genuine auditor, but by those who've sat down and taken a good look at how much they owe, how long their family's been around, and all this. They're valued at somewhere between $300 to $500 trillion.
That's like almost half the world's wealth.
Yeah. And they've been at this for quite a long time now. Remember, the Order of the Illuminati came into existence in 1776. And it was during the early, or around the 1820s, 1830s, that the Rothschild family eventually became the head of the order of the Illuminati.
Is the Rothschild family, are they fully human?
You mean, are they part lizard or anything like that, or part alien?
Yes,
or
yes.
Part or part reptilian? They're humans. Trust me.
Full humans. They're not like half reptilians and half human hybrids, because we keep hearing that all over the internet. Like, I keep hearing that. But most people do.
And that's because of David Icke.
Yes.
Yeah. And David Icke says that the British royal family are all lizard people.
Yes.
He even said that George Bush is a lizard person. I'm beginning to wonder if there's anyone he hasn't claimed who isn't a lizard person by now.
Maybe he's a lizard person himself.
Or maybe he's just delusional.
I don't know. I really don't know much about David Icke, but I have a question for you. How was it as a child being in the Illuminati? How was your childhood?
Well, as a child, you're taught from a very early age you can never say what you're really doing. It's like living in the mafia. You go to school, you have your regular friends, but you never bring them home, per se, and you never let anyone really know what your family does. It's a constant living a double life. When you're outside in the public, you just pretend to be like everyone else. You might even hold a job. You have regular friends, but when it's time for real business, that's when you get into what you're really up to.
I see. So that's not. Is it like it's like the mob? The difference between the Illuminati and the mob. It's the same thing, except the Illuminati are higher than the mob.
Well, it was Giuseppe Mazzini, the second head of the Order of the Illuminati, who created the Mafia to begin with. You see, Mazzini wanted, shall we say, a strong arm of the Illuminati that would take care of the dirty things when they needed things taken care of. At the time, Giuseppe Mazzini was also part of one of the most powerful families in all of Italy at the time, and that was the Carbonari family. And he gathered a number of other members from different Italian families and created the Mafia. You see, Mafia, M-A-F-I-A, it's an anagram. I don't remember the Italian off the top of my head, but translated, the M-A-F-I-A stands for Mazzini authorizes fires, thefts, and death. Now, isn't that exactly what the Mafia have always done?
Yes, they have.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're talking about when we say Mafia, because it was created by Mazzini. As I said, the first letter in Mafia stands for Mazzini. He was the one, the second head of the Order of the Illuminati, after Dr. Adam Weishaupt died, that created the Mafia so that they would act as strong arm of Illuminati.
And do the Illuminati sacrifice children to the gods?
Of course they do.
And
times a year, but they're not. It's not just children. That would be Hollywood. They ever speak on the Illuminati, they never would dare. No. Most of the time, people who have children, who are killing, young children, teenagers, things like that. That's the Satanists.
okay, and where do they get these children? Is it the children that go missing around every year? There's always children missing. And you can't ever find them.
Getting a human sacrifice is way too easy. They're runaways for a good time. Skid-load bums, paper girls, people going to clubs, bars and such, looking, for a good time, or just, looking for someone who listened to them. things like that. It's just too easy. And let's face it, nowadays, parents don't watch their kids where they used to. They don't. They let, their kids who are not even teenagers yet run around, go who knows where. And unfortunately, that's because parents don't want kids to act like kids. They want them, to act like adults and say, you're going to be responsible. You got to be back at this time. Excuse me, you're supposed to be watching the kids. If it was one of my children, and I don't have children, don't get me wrong, but if it was one of my kids, excuse me, I don't care how old-fashioned people I think I am, I'm going to keep an eye on that kid like a hawk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure, I agree with you that you would have to do that. Because nowadays, I don't know. It seems like parents aren't parents of the old times,
No, they're not. I mean, let's face it. This is not the days of Donna Reed.
Yeah.
And boy, am I really age myself now. Donna Reed, I thought how far back that was. But there's 8 times a year which human sacrifice must in the order of the Illuminati. There's no ifs and buts about it. It's been done ever since they were created. It goes on to the third day. And if we go by the FBI reports, every year approximately 1 million people are missing.
Right.
Now, usually, somewhere in the neighborhood of 900,000 are usually found. That's because a lot of them are just running away or they came up missing for whatever reason. Of the other 100,000, they have no explanation, and I guarantee you, most of them are ending up on the altars of the Illuminati, or they're being sold as sex slaves through the Illuminati.
Is there a connection between UFOs, aliens, and the Illuminati? What's the connection?
You were reverberating way too much there.
Oh, you could. Okay.
And there was way too much reverberation.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna do it slowly. Is there a connection between aliens, UFOs, and the Illuminati?
It's interesting. I finished a 2-part DVD set, DVD 9 in my series.
Right.
It's called Aliens, Fallen Angels, or Antichrist. And it deals exactly with what you're saying. Big question. I'm thinking to myself, now how do I explain 7 hours worth of DVDs in 30 minutes or less?
Yeah.
I mean, there's 14 major sections I had to write using more than 750 photos, not thematic. Their original photos, plans, everything. And I'm trying to figure out, to explain this, in 5 minutes or less.
But there is
Okay, let me put it to you this way.
Yeah.
I know a lot of folks are being told to tell that aliens from outer space are visiting the Earth. They're affecting women, having sex with them, or impregnating them, or what have you. And there is not one shred of scientific evidence that we know of that life exists in outer space. None. And call me old-fashioned, but folks, before I can even wrap my mind around that, I want to see some evidence. I don't want to hear, rumors or this known object in their arm. So that means an alien put it there. You know what? I have a medical faith. I graduated from the American Academy of Health at Fort Sam in Houston, Texas, back in the 70s. I know my medicine, folks. I want to see these so-called unidentifiable objects. I want to see the entry marks. I want to look at all the evidence because I know how to run this, and I definitely know how to run a DNA test. I want to see the evidence because this is causing way too much of a brouhaha, and that's what the Illuminati wanted. You see, I know what the plans were, and I can prove to you, and again, ladies and gentlemen, this is in DVD 9 and 10. I can document this. I've proven this. That it was first started in Nazi Germany under the Illuminati, one of the greatest puppets, Adolf Hitler, that the UFO movement had begun. You see, in Nazi Germany, they're actually building these UFO flying saucers as people label them. I've got the photos. They're in those DVDs. I can show you the original Nazi plans, the schematics, all in those DVDs. The evidence is there. This isn't something that started at Roswell, in New Mexico, as people have stated. That would have been, what, 1948, as I recall, Robert?
Yeah, 1947, 48, yes.
47? I thought it was 48. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
40. We both know it was supposedly this UFO crash landed in Roswell, New Mexico, and bang, there it is. We are being visited by aliens from outer space. Well, that's the lie. As I stated, I can show you how flying saucers being built in Nazi Germany under Adolf Hitler. So it didn't stop there. And all this other stuff that feeds into the storyline is all being contrived to make up, and you'll see it, especially in the movies, on TVs, to keep the storyline going. It was in the 1950s. It was known as the golden age of UFOs in Hollywood, because if you look at the movies during the 1950s, oh my goodness, there was one UFO movie after another. And, the main theme was they were always coming down, to, take over the earth, hit us and destroy us with their laser beams, who knows what. You got such flat movies as The Day the Earth Stood Still, or Earth versus the Flying Saucers, things like that. And let's face it, once it got to the 80s, oh my goodness, didn't we, do a complete turnaround? Aliens were no longer bad guys. They were nice people. And one of the biggest fuzzy-wuzzy movies for aliens during that time was E.T.
Movie.
What person did not fall in love with that little alien creature, that Elliot had found, and they became the best of buddies and all this. And then as it says, let's look at the TVs. One of the, I think the first TV series on aliens would have been My Favorite Martian. Do you remember that one, Robert?
Yes, I do remember it. Yes, but it seems that right now the media is focusing on making us like aliens. Like all these movies are all leading up to aliens. Is there there must be some kind of great deception coming?
There's a great plan that the Illuminati have working on for 75 years. You see, aliens, and I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to have an alien visitation. It's not going to be an invasion. We're talking an actual visitation. And if you don't believe me, let's consider, just to show you how ridiculous it's coming. The United Nations has an ambassador for aliens. Can you believe that, Robert?
Yes, I've known about this for like 2-3 years, and the thing is it a real alien invasion, or is it fake?
No, as it says, it's not going to be an invasion. It's going to be a visitation. Oh. And you see, all this working on for 75 years is to cover one event that really, you know, better than anything else, and that's the rapture.
Yes, yes, the rapture.
Yeah, I mean, when we think about it, how do we explain tens of millions of people suddenly vanishing off the face of the earth? What about all the babies in the nurseries or hospital? They vanish. Or maybe what about grandma or grandpa at the nursing home? Or, you know, what about those people who may be driving cars or planes or railroad trains, you know, like that? How are we going to suddenly explain all those vanishes unless it's being blamed on an alien visitation?
Exactly. That would tie in. That would tie into the rapture. They'll say they were whisked off by aliens, and that's going to cause fear on the remaining people on the earth. I would imagine.
Well, worse than that, you see, there's a big psychological thing behind all this. You see, as I recall, and this was for my days in the Illuminati now, and I'll explain this even further. The storyline is going to happen like this. The Christians vanish. Well, give it a week, maybe 2 weeks down the road, NASA or some other major space agency is going to make a global announcement that they've seen a mothership or motherships enter into our solar system. Well, give it another couple of weeks or so, and, well, these motherships are now going to orbit the Earth. And they're going to convince the people by showing these wonderful CGI films and everything on the telly saying, oh, yeah, look, they're there. And then maybe a week or so later, well, these aliens are to prove that they are up there because those UFOs that were first made in Nazi Germany, and mind you, as I said, I've got all the photos to back this up. Those UFOs are going to start landing around certain capitals and key points around the Earth. They're going to see the creatures step out, and they're going to say, those people, you know, they didn't vanish. We took aboard our mothership because they needed to be educating. You, the people here, are the truly enlightened ones who will help us guide and steer mankind into the golden age of humanity. And people are going to fall for it, Robert, because it plays perfectly on the human ego. You people are the chosen ones. You're the enlightened. You're the chosen who's going to help us. Your dad's information help to guide and steer you into the golden age.
What is your take on Nibiru? Is it coming? Planet
On
X.
what?
Nibiru, Planet X.
Oh, okay, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have not heard of Nibiru, and I wrote about this in DVD 7 and 8. Again, now, remember, what is it, a little bit more than 2 years ago on December 21st, 2012, the Earth was supposed to crash and burn again. Remember that?
Yes.
What was that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay. Yeah. And accordingly, one of us that there was a test planet out there known as Nibiru. But we couldn't see it, and we knew almost nothing about it. It was supposed to have a orbit of 36,000 years. In other words, for it normally it takes 36,000 years for it to complete the elliptical cycle around the sun. Then it goes back to its normal station in our solar system. Now, this is on the teachings of Zacharias Sitchin, who claims he could read, write, and all this other stuff of the ancient Sumerian text. I'll tell you right now, anyone who knows how to translate Aryan, the ancient text, will say right now, the guy did not know what it was talking about. But nevertheless, Zacharias said, there was a planet in the solar system known as Nibiru. It has an inhabitant known as the Anunnaki. And on last time that Nibiru came close enough planet when it would go past of 30,000 years, the Anunnaki decided to visit the planet Earth because they needed gold to run their great machineries that was supposed to be cleaning up their atmosphere because they, polluted or whatever. And mankind at the time was supposed to be some low-grade, ominous Anunnaki said, well, we're going to make this into a workforce for us. In order to do that, we're going to have to change their DNA. And so supposedly we altered DNA through, experiments, and mankind became a standing upright hominid race. We took all the gold for the Anunnaki, and then they took all the gold and went back home to Nibiru. Now, according to what we were told in year 2012, December 21st, 2012, there were so many different things that were supposed to blow up the earth, or, the old earth is going to burn and all this stuff. And one of the stories stated that Nibiru was going to be coming back, it's 36,000 cycle, and it was going to come so close to the earth that tidal waves would be over 1,000 feet, volcanoes would blow up, earth faults would cause massive earthquakes, so on and so forth. Now, you understand what Zacharias Sitchin had been teaching. Nibiru was supposed to be either 1 or 2 times bigger than Jupiter. Now, if Nibiru was supposed to have been on its way, there is no way you or I did something that's twice the size of Jupiter, for goodness sake. And people were saying, oh, no, the government's covering up. They don't want us to know we're all going to crash and burn. Excuse me, that doesn't wash. Any amateur could spot something twice as big as Jupiter in the heaven if that was true.
So it's all propaganda.
It's not propaganda. It's based on a myth, a lie. Remember, Zacharias Sitchin is not qualified to have translated the ancient Sumerian text. His translation was so off that he came up with this ridiculous story of Nibiru, the Anunnaki, why they came here, how they turned man from a simple hominid to where we are now, blah, 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 blah. It's all a myth, a lie.
Unreal. But that's interesting to know, because these questions I'm asking you, these are my viewers that are asking you these questions. So they want to know. So that's why I'm asking you all these different types of questions.
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
Yes. I have another question for you. What is the protocols of the elders of Zion?
Okay. The protocols of the learned elders of
Boy, what happened to Robert? Can't seem to hear where Robert went. Hold on, I'm getting in touch with him. Just when we get to the good question. Just when we get to the good question. Robert's nowhere to be found. I'm trying to get to him right now. I don't know if anybody else out there could hear him. I know I can't. And if I can't hear him, I'm sure you can't. Can anybody hear me? Because that's a question that was very good. I want to know. And now we can't hear Robert or see him. No, could anybody see me? Could hear me? Can anybody hear me? Wait, Robert's frozen. No, I mean, just Robert's gone with Doc. I'm trying to see if I can get Doc back or Robert back. I don't know what happened to Robert. Just when we got that question, I guess the Illuminati doesn't want us to know about that. That means it must be true, right? Because it's not normal for, as soon as Robert to have asked that question, he got zapped. As about, how can I say this? As soon as Doc Marquis was going to answer it, he was gone with Robert. And now I'm trying to get Robert back. So hang on to, no, if they took Robert, they would have taken me too. Now, don't you think they want me? You know? What, they're just going to take Robert and not me. At least take the whole full MnRTV Live Show. You know? But I'm trying to get in contact with Robert here because I want to know what the heck happened. He just vanished as soon as he brought up that famous question. Can anybody remember what that question was? Well, I don't know what's happening to Robert, but he says he's here, but we don't see him or hear him. And I'm not just the only one here that can say that. Everybody else out there can see that. This is like we're having technical difficulties with Robert here because I don't see him or hear the guest. I wish he comes back. Yeah, he did cut out. He did cut out on a cliffhanger, you know, because I want to hear that answer to that because that was a very good question. Sorry, people out there, we didn't mean this, you know. I mean, it's. And now he's asking if we could hear him, but I say, no, I can't. Unfortunately, and we want to hear that question. Now, but you know what, guys? I don't think I want to go with aliens. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to trust them, you know? I don't see myself trusting them. I just don't trust. Now, Robert, if you're still there, this is what we see from you. You're there, but we can't hear you or see you. No, you see, people can't hear you. I don't know what happened to you. Maybe you got lost in cyberspace or something like that, you know? Well, I mean, look, I'm just doing what I can, you know? Me over here, that's all I can do, is just do what I can. and Robert's having technical difficulties, so I try, you know. And I don't know what exactly is going on. It's a cliffhanger, it's a brain breaker. You call it what you want, you know. And then here we are, we got Doc Marquis on, who I was like, maybe Robert was abducted by aliens. But he brought his cell phone with him because he's still contacting me. Now this is weird because other people can hear, but I don't know, man. This is very odd. Who else can hear Robert out there? Anybody else can hear Robert out there? Because I can't. Well, now Robert left. He left completely. Yeah, I use rabbit ears on my telephone, but I don't use rabbit ears on this. So this is not why this is happening. It's not happening because of me using rabbit ears. That's on my television downstairs, which I don't watch television. That's one thing I don't do. I don't watch television. You know, I don't have time for television. I just want to share what I know. And it would help if Robert were to come back so we can continue the show. But it's not happening. This is not good. Let's see. All right, so I'm back. Unfortunately, I'm going to try and see if I can reach Robert back. Hopefully, it will work this time around. Bear with us, people. This is not easy. You know, when we do stuff like this, it's not easy whatsoever. And okay, so here I'll. Yes, okay, I think he should be coming back soon, hopefully. All right, so he's back. Great.
That was being built in New York. It was just a skeletal frame at the time. And he put, I don't remember what it was, he attached this item to one of the beams. He put it across back the road to where his office was. He turned on the machine. At first, nothing happened because he had to match the frequency to the molecular structure of the high beams. But once he did, the results was greater than what he had anticipated because, you can check the reports on this. There was an earthquake that was beginning to be felt. And from what I understand, Mythbusters, you know that television show?
Yes.
They tried to duplicate Nikola Tesla's experiment on a particular type of bridge. I can't remember the type. And according to what they found on the show, it started working just like Nikola Tesla had described when he first started this experiment more than 100 years ago. Now, when you think about that, Nikola Tesla had devised this particular device, I think it was 1895, if I remember. Our government has had it for about 65 years, maybe a little bit longer. Can you imagine how much more of an advance they could have made with that type of knowledge after 60, 70 years?
Yeah, that's it. So, like now I heard that they have something they call like water cars, waters that could run by water instead of oil. But the Illuminati, the elites, they forbid this because they're gonna lose all their money.
Well, I have to tell you, I do know that there have been a number of engines that have been created that could literally run on water. But they were purposely bought up by major corporations, and they've never been again, because the one thing that runs the world right now is oil. And it was because of oil that the Illuminati started World War I to begin with. It wasn't because of the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand. No, that was the excuse that they caused to happen. And that was through their puppets and the Mason. What they wanted was to get their hands on the Baku Nobel oil reserves in Russia at the time, because during that day and age, the Baku oil fields held half of the Earth's known oil reserves, and they were going to get their hands on it, and they were going to control it. And they brought down an entire dynasty because of it. Remember, the Tsars, especially Tsar Nicholas II, came from a long line of Russian kings, and they brought down the entire dynasty so that they could control the Baku Nobel oil fields. Oil is still what runs this earth, and that's why, among other things, Barack Obama has been delaying the United States from being able to drill its own oil fields again. And I mean, see, his excuse is, like so many other people, well, we've only got so much oil, and America will run out. And I heard that excuse almost 40 years ago. We're not running out of oil. You see, the truth of the matter is the earth is cyclical. It renews itself every 50 to 60 years. We'll never run out of oil because there's always fossil fuel things on the earth. The earth converts the matter into oil, or into, crude oil. We refine it and we use it and create gasoline and other petroleum products from it. We'll never run out of it because the earth renews itself constantly. But this is the lie we're being told. And oil, as I said, that's what runs the earth to this very day. Without it, most people would say, the earth is in peril, we're going to burn and doom and gloom again. Well, even if that was true, we can still use electricity. But you see how far this nonsense has been going.
No, so it seems like the Illuminati control everything from, it's like I was saying before, the Protocols of Elders of Zion. It's just like reading like a newspaper.
Yes, and how last year we had that fake Ebola scare again.
Yes, the Ebola. Yes.
Pandemic. Everyone's gonna die and all this. Remember that?
I do remember. Unfortunately.
Well, where's it gone? Gone.
It's nowhere. It's like it's just disappeared. Like it never happened.
Where's the millions of dead bodies that were supposed to be lying on the ground in Africa that was going to be striking all the world and everyone's going to die? You see, that was the cover story. You see, some of my contacts are in that region of the world where the Ebola outbreak supposed to have started in Africa. And another contact of mine there. And once we got all the information together, we figured out what was really going on. You see, off the shores of, that would have been, let me think, that's Western Africa. It had only recently been discovered off the shores of that part of Africa, there's oil. And in order to get the people out of there and to get everyone not interested in seeing on what was going on there, they created a so-called Ebola outbreak. While that was going on, there are oils and other things being put into that part of the ocean, and they're drilling for oil now. What's interesting, the government, I can't remember which government it is, that they had to, supposedly get permission for, so that they could drill in that part of the ocean. They told the big corporations, these are Canadian and American corporations, basically told the government, well, we're going to do all the work to set up all the machines and everything. You get to keep 5% of your oil. We'll keep the other 95%.
Oh, so that's amazing. You know that.
This is an impoverished African nation, and they give them only 5% of their own. No, we're gonna let you have 5% of the profits.
It's just unreal. Just that they could do such a thing. All of this for oil. You know, the greed, the power. I mean, the Ebola. It's gone. It's like it was everywhere just to scare. You know, and.
All it was another smokescreen. People didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, but once I heard where it was, and knowing the Illuminati, because I was one of them, they did a lot of digging around and they found the oil field that no one was looking for.
So in your view, are we going to hear more of this Ebola, or is it just something that's finished now?
Well, we're not going to hear the Ebola, but what I'm going to hear is, well, you better start, everyone in America had better start getting vaccines. We have these new type of mutant strains coming out. Listen for that.
Mutated strains, like something like the measles.
You know what's funny? According to what they're telling us, if you get measles, you're going to die without, vaccine or something, right?
Right.
Medically speaking, that's a lie. You don't die from measles. No. I mean, maybe 1 out of 100,000 kids would possibly, that's only possibly, die. You see, what they're trying to do is, again, experiment on population control. See, the medical fact, they've been given all these vaccines and such to pregnant ladies, saying that this will give the children, a natural, much better, healthier immune system, okay, to all these diseases and such. That's what they've been telling the pregnant ladies. That's what they've been telling the public. But again, that's a lie. Find out that the children that have been born from those ladies that's been receiving all these vaccines, they're not just we're talking children that's been malformed or that sickly as soon as they came out of their mother and all this other stuff. The rate of what's been happening, from when a mother would normally give birth to maybe a sickly child, the rates are now up to more than 4,200.
Does this? Yeah, that's horrible. That's like unimaginable. It's like just something like almost like science fiction. But
well, that's just it. You can't deny the medicine. They're trying to rewrite the storyline and say, no, well, this is what really happens. No, that's not medicine. Medicine, the science of medicine will clearly prove that what they're doing is wrong. They say they're doing it to strengthen our immune system. That's nonsense. You don't strengthen a person's immune system by giving them out of the disease to begin with. You will find out that's when you end up with more sick people than what you know what to do with them.
oh boy, does this tie in with people getting microchipped?
I didn't quite get that.
Does this tie in with people getting microchipped?
What do you mean?
Like implants.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but how do you think that's tying in?
Vaccines, vaccinations, and inside there could be like some kind of chip in there, and it's gonna make people be controlled, mind controlled.
No, it doesn't work. No, we're talking. Okay, in the human body, there's approximately 20 billion cells. That's 20 billion now. There's no way, and let's use some common sense and some basic medicine here. There's no way that a chip can rewrite 20 trillion cells body. It doesn't work like that. We're talking about every single cell contains a double helix code, which is made up of thousands and thousands of genomes. Okay?
Okay.
You just cannot rewrite the DNA 20 trillion cells just like that. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it sure doesn't sound like it does. Do you know if the Illuminati are getting any knowledge directly from the great source, or is it all secondhand from texts? That's one of my questions.
What do you mean the great source?
The great source, the Ask-Chick records.
The what?
The AKA SHIC records. That's what someone's writing here. If you know anything about that.
Spell that one more time.
AKA SHIC.
Oh, the Ashik record.
Yes.
No, please. That's that ranks right up there with Anunnaki.
Okay. Yeah, that was one of the questions from one of my.
Members of the Illuminati, you have to understand, these people practice what's known as Luciferian witchcraft, and they can summon up demons and communicate with them. Now, I've never seen it happen myself, but when I summoned up demons, they weren't passing any great knowledge or wisdom to me. But I know that it can be done. There's no doubt in my mind. These demons that's being summoned, they can pass on to human beings knowledge that no one should know, because you have to remember, these creatures we call demons were one time angels in the very heavenly realm of God himself now. So they have knowledge that no one possesses, and because they are fallen, and they want to see as many souls end up in hell as they're going to misguide and steer mankind in the wrong way, and they will use their knowledge to do so.
Demons, how do they look like?
Believe it or not, no two demons look alike.
Okay.
I've seen red ones, black ones, blue ones, green ones, some with scales, some without scales, some with big ears, small ears, some, that look human. But no two, I guarantee you, look exactly like the other.
Okay, but they're not gargoyle looking like creatures.
Some, I would say, around that. But when we look at like the ones that Hollywood portrays, don't go there. That's Hollywood again.
Hollywood. Well, Hollywood is controlled by the Illuminati, that's for sure.
Oh, no doubt of it.
Yeah. What are your views on Israel and Palestine? How's that going to work out? What does the Illuminati have planned for that?
Well, we have to go back to the writings of Stephen Manzini and Albert Pike, who was the head of the Southern jurisdiction of all masonry in America during that time. That would have been the mid-late 1900s, 19th century, excuse me. Albert Pike and Stephen Manzini had come up with a plan to take over the world and set up a new world order by creating 3 world wars. Now, World War I and World War II happened exactly according to the plans of Manzini and Pike. Again, this is in my DVD series. It's all there. Now, the First World War states that they have to get Islamic nations of the world to start standing up and attempting to just destroy Israel as a whole. And that as a result, because of all the treaties that are in place at the time, eventually it would force other nations of the world to get involved once they would begin to escalate. And isn't it interesting how we see the birth pains of that beginning to happen?
Yeah, we certainly do. We
And mind you, that was written more than, what, it's been 125 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's just like a script, just like a Hollywood script. Everything's being done accordingly.
But unfortunately, these actors are dying, and they're not actors.
No, they're not. What do you think the Vatican plays into this?
Vatican, according to the scriptures, will be where the false prophet comes from.
Is this the last pope?
Well, that's what they said about the last one, didn't they?
Well, it's Francis is supposed to be the final pope according to the prophecy of Malachi.
No, that's incorrect. It was supposed to have been the one before him. I can't remember his name.
Benedict.
Huh?
Pope Benedict?
Pope Benedict. No, you see, again, that's in DVD 7 and 8. According to the prophecies of Brother Malachi, who you were referring to,
yes,
he was given a vision of God of the next 111 popes. Now Malachi, let me think, he would have been around the 8th century, I recall. And according to what his vision stated, there would be 111 popes next. And number 111 would be known as Peter Romanus, or from the Latin, Peter the Roman. When you count and look at all the popes, now he didn't name them by name, but what is interesting, he wrote a line or two about what the papacy under each pope would be like. In other words, what would this pope be noted for? And every single one of them happened without flaw. When we get to Pope 111, that was supposed to have been Pope Benedict. I haven't seen Rapture of the Great Tribulation happen. Have you?
No, not yet. Not that I know of.
No. You know, so even though everything was right up to that point, as far as the prophecies go, Benedict, who should have been Pope 111, nothing happened. If nothing else, remember, he resigned his position.
He did, yeah.
And now Francis I got his position, and from what I understand, he may be considering retiring.
Yeah, I heard about that. He might be retiring, so something's up, something's not up. But I think a lot of books were written about this, and nothing has happened. Like the Great 2012, a lot of stuff was going to happen, and nothing happened.
Exactly. This was supposed to be part of the doomsday thing because of 2012.
Yeah.
Again, nothing. Just like remember 2000 January 1st.
Yeah, you Y2K.
And the earth was gonna fall to the dark ages.
Yeah, Y2K.
Thank you, Y2K. But like Y2K, nothing has happened.
Right.
How do we explain it? If this pope decides to retire, what are we going to say? Oh, it is a dot pope. It's going to be the next one. Well, eventually it's going to be one of the popes. But right now, not Benedict, and I don't think it's Francis.
Well, no. Well, that's another type. That's another thing to look into. Have you heard about the red moons? The 4 blood moons.
The 4 blood moons.
Yes.
You know what? It's based on what's known as setbacks. In other words, a set of 4 blood moons that happen within a year or two themselves. And every single time blood moon appears, something that is of God also happen or manifest itself in or around Israel. Okay?
Yes.
You look at the vast majority of all the tetrads that happened since Christ resurrected and went to heaven. The vast majority of them, nothing's happened. Now, some people will point to, Or look at the Six-Day War, you know, the Yom Kippur War. Or look at when Israel became a nation. Or go look at Blood Moon. Well, yeah, but it wasn't on that day. Sometimes the blood moon happened before the so-called event. Sometimes the blood moon happened after the so-called event. Now, I would think God, who created all time, space, and everything that we know of, would be a lot more accurate.
Well, of course, he's God. He would be accurate.
Yeah, this is not a hit or miss thing. Either it happens on the night of the blood moon, or it isn't what people are claiming it to. That's how I see it.
But the thing is, there's a lot of hearsay, a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people in the conspiracy world that are making a lot of money, making up a lot of stuff for making money and confusing truth with reality.
I know. Let's face it. There's a lot of people who believe in UFOs also.
Well, yeah, UFOs, the giant Nephilims that are supposed to come down, the giants, fallen angels. It's, you know, one last question before I let you go, because I know it's getting late, Doc. The Illuminati cards. What's next on the Illuminati cards? What's next that we can expect?
Believe it or not, I haven't had time to sit down and look at them.
Okay.
We have to remember, we're looking at, there are literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Illuminati cards. See, people think that there was just one set of Illuminati cards that were made.
Yeah.
There's actually 7 sets. Now, I do have them in my possession. And I'll tell you right now, if you just try to, let's say, find the first set. Now, I've tried to, like, you know, find them on eBay or something. Oh, my goodness, I've seen them sell for anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000.
I know. It's unreal.
I mean, I'm just glad I've got the sets I do. You know, so I don't have to try to, you know, shell out that type of money. I don't even have $3, let alone $3,000.
It's true.
You know? But I am going to, as a matter of fact, out of the presentation, I'm going to be doing in Orlando, Florida in a week. I'll be bringing all 7 sets with me so people can look at them. One particular presentation, two presentations I'll be using the cards, but one in particular I'm going to be showing a lot of those Illuminati cards and show the people, look at how all these events had happened exactly as the Illuminati cards had predicted they would. It's not because the Illuminati cards are prophetical in nature, it's because they contain the future plans of the Illuminati of certain events that they had already planned with.
The thing is, on the Illuminati cards, I've seen there's one of it says disinfo agent, and it's a picture of Alex Jones, a guy that looks like Alex Jones, and they have one of a singer that looks like Lady Gaga. So how does that all fit? Do they print it as it goes along the events?
Well, the cards were printed between 1982 and 1995, and that's a 30-year printing run. It wasn't printing for no reason at all. Trust me.
But how come I see people like Lady Gaga?
Neither of those people were. I mean, Lady Gaga hadn't even been heard in that period, so I guarantee you that card is not Lady Gaga. Either I don't know which card you're referring to, but
I should send you. It looks like her.
Labeled Alex Jones, anything like that.
It's called Disinfo Agent, and it's supposed to be Alex Jones. It's like him. So one thing I'm thinking, maybe it's just people that made these cards, like they faked it, saying it's Illuminati cards to have these people, because in 1995 no one heard of Alex Jones. Lady Gaga wasn't even around then. She was probably a little girl. So I think they're adding stuff to it as it goes along to pretend, you know, probably making money out of it.
No, because I have all 7 sets.
Because I saw this on the internet.
No, that card does exist. I'll take another look at it myself after the show.
Okay.
But if it's what I'm thinking of, I don't think that's like Alex Jones. No.
Okay, and there's another one of Lady Gaga, and it's like I don't know. It's like they have these things I've seen on the internet when I typed in Illuminati cards, and it has like either sports stars, Alex Jones, music stars. You know, when something happens. So parts people fabricating this, I think.
Well, I've seen, it is interesting. I have seen a number of Illuminati cards, supposed Illuminati cards, that are fake. You're right. I've seen them myself.
Right.
And if I think I'm wrong, I will go back to the 7 original sets and double check myself just in case.
Okay.
But you're right. I have spotted a lot of those fake cards myself.
That's exactly what I thought. Exactly. Well, we're just about out of time, Mr. Doc Marquis. And is there, and in closing, is there anything you would like to tell our viewers?
Well, if any your viewers, listeners, excuse me,
listeners, yeah.
Look at any of the material on my website, Owen. All you have to do is go to, put in the usual www.stuff, and this is all lowercase, no apostrophes. Just put in. It's a Bob Thing Productions 777.com. Now it's a Bob Thing Productions 777.com, or you can find me on Facebook. Just type in Doc Marquis, or if you want to email me, just email me at docmarquis777@yahoo.com, or if anyone wants to, you can call me after afternoon. Usually I'm good at working then, Excuse me. Call me at 402-228-9476.
Again, that's 402-228-9476.
Correct.
Okay. Well, all right, Doc Marquis. It's been wonderful having you. We loved having you on the show, and we're definitely gonna have you back on the show sometime in the future.
That'll be my pleasure, Robert.
All right. So you have a good night.
Okay. You take care, and God keep you now.
Thank you very much. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh wow. What a show we had. I know I cut off at some point because it said that the connection was lost, but the thing is I could not tell our guest we have to stop, we have to start, so I just continued the show like nothing else. What was I supposed to do?
Okay, so it wasn't just me dreaming and saying, what the hell, I think I lost Robert, or you, like some people were saying, you got abducted by aliens. It really did happen.
It's a connection timeout, like it happened on my desktop like a couple of times.
Okay, well, at least now we got it. I don't know if we're going to hear it when it gets recorded, because a lot of people are saying, let's move.
What happened though? When I was cut off, what happened? Like, I don't know if there was anybody was able to, what was on, if it was dead air.
Yeah, it was dead. Well, I was trying my best to talk, because I don't want people to say, oh, nothing's happening on the MnRTV Live Show.
So you were talking,
let's turn it off.
Right? Okay, as long as it's not dead air. I don't know what's been happening. I don't know.
No, but you know what's the funny thing? Like I was saying, as soon as you mentioned the protocol of Zion, that's when it, boom, went away. So that's what I think happened there. I think they do not want us to mention that. I'm surprised they didn't cut us now that we said it, but that's because he's an inside, well, he's a former Illuminati member. They don't want to hear it from him. Us were like, it's just that MnRTV Live Show. Then they want to hear it from him, and they never got it. And nobody heard it except for you saying it, repeating it, but, what can we do? It's life.
We can't do anything, so hopefully we'll be back next week if the technology permits us to do so.
Yeah, that's the thing, eh? If it all comes down to technology, does it want us to do it?
Exactly. Well, we hope so. I hope so. So, God bless you all, and we'll see you next week, hopefully on the MnRTV show, live show.
All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back. Hopefully, technology won't slow us down. And take care of yourselves, and remember, keep watching and share this show.
Everywhere.
Whatever people can hear, just share it. It's not the best, but we try. So have a good night and see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.
Indeed.